Happy Friday night to all of my amazing survivors. You made it. You woke up Monday, level 1. No items in your inventory, no weapons, no gear. Wearing just street clothes. And here you are Friday night, level 75. You got some legendary weapons. You got a few mystical armors. You got that cheese in your inventory that you'll never use to replenish your health, but that's okay. You want to save it just in case. Which is probably the best thing because Sunday's right around the corner. Sunday's a tough boss because you know that when you go to bed that night, you wake up Monday morning, you start all over again. Anyway, okay, so that's enough getting dark for a minute. So, everyone, you made it. You absolutely made it. I'm proud of you and you and you back there and all of you on the side. Seriously, applaud yourself. Golf claps for those of you that are in apartments because you have some fussy Francines that live next door to you. Before we get started, if you could, please hop over to our YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, like a video, and then share it. And then if you're on Facebook, I've recently been told that you can subscribe to a page. So I think it's a subscribe/like, and then like a video and then share it. Then if you're on Facebook, hop over to YouTube, subscribe, like, and share. If you're on YouTube, go over to Facebook, subscribe/like, and share. Okay, it's very, this list is getting kind of obnoxious. When I introduce Instagram and Twitter and any other things that we're going to try to roll out here, good luck. Again, I'm working on the bulletin board. We're going to get a bulletin board back here, and you can just follow it and draw lines and hash marks and whatever. Okay? So, I'm a little bit speechless. So I filmed an intro this evening, right, while I was on the way to an interview, right? And the interview was for another episode of our collections, right? I'm sorry I'm yelling. It's getting late. So anyway, I spent 15 minutes filming this intro to this video because I had a young lady reach out to me about, she had some Pokemon cards and she wanted to sit down and she wanted to talk about it. Little did I know that I was going to be sitting down with an amazing individual that just has so much that she's wanting to accomplish. And it truly was, I spent 3.5 hours at her outside. We filmed it outside. And while we did get a chance to dive into the Pokemon, we got a chance to dive into, what made her a nerd and, what truly touched her, what trading card game she's going to be getting into. Things got a lot more real than that. And I think a lot of us today are so used to boundaries being set where, it's nothing's going to come, within our comfort zone. So I'm really proud of this video. I am, because we talk anyway, we dive in depth about the charity that she's starting, which I'm really excited about. We dive in depth about, just a little bit about her, and we dive in depth about, like I said, what got her into Pokemon, what made her choose all these cards, and why she kept the cards, and what trading card games she would be interested in, what trading card games she would be interested in diving into the future. So, like I said, this one's really different. This one's different than the one I did with my previous collections guest. Like I said, you're still going to get to see some cards. It's not a lot of cards because, before we got on camera, I started diving into the cards that she had, and I just kept finding more and more and more, and it turned out some of these had some a lot of value to them, So we finally just kind of quit pulling everything out because they've been kept nice, safe, warm, quiet for 20 plus years. And then I come along with my, I've been working all day hands, and I start manhandling them, and I'm like, you know what, let's not do this because those cards were damn near met. Anyway, I I just kind of want to give everybody like a heads up, because tonight's video is, like I said, I really enjoyed it. I did, because it pushed me personally to an area where it's like, okay, like we're not just diving into cards now, we're actually diving into the lives of these people and the beliefs that they have. And I mean, that's what Fire and Ice Games is about. It's about bringing everybody together, no matter where they sit on either side of the fence. It's about finding that neutral zone that we can all just kind of get together and sit around, you know. And that's what this amazing lady gave. Honestly, it truly is. Like I said, this one's a little different. It really is. I'm kind of speechless because, you know, I spent hours over there, and then, you know, I spent some time before you know, we shot, and then the time that we shot, and then the time after we shot, just talking. And I mean, I don't think my original introduction was profound enough. I really don't, because here at Fire and Ice Games, our goal is to bring everybody from every walks of life, no matter where you sit on whatever issue, is to bring everybody together on a social level where we can all just kind of put aside our differences and get together and play games and just enjoy each other's company, because we're all human, okay? And this young lady that you're about to see, she really dives into what she's trying to accomplish. And you know, it's an interesting video. We filmed it all outside. We were not planning on talking as long as we did, so it starts getting dark, you know. And then you know, we kind of had to break it up. And you know, because like I started fiddling around with the camera, and then she started fiddling around with the camera. So I've kind of gone back and forth since, you know, driving home, getting home. I've gone back and forth on trying to decide if I want to edit this video or not. That's where I've been. Do I want to edit the video? Do I want to cut out all the, you know, all the nonsense with the flashlights and everything? And I don't think I will. And the reason being is because, you know what, like, I think one thing I learned tonight is I think everybody gets tired of trying to pretend to be something they're not. Okay? I do. I mean, I went through that phase. I went through that phase where I refuse to admit that I'm a nerd, you know, and like I am. At my heart, I am a nerd. At my heart, I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek. I love movies. I love trading card games. I love collectibles. I've got 3 bookshelves. I've got nerd paintings on my wall. And even this, you know, Fire and Ice Games, the merchandise I'm gonna be rolling out with, it's nerd. You know, I'm bringing Magic. I'm bringing Pokemon. I'm bringing Yu-Gi-Oh to the table. We're getting ready to be introducing Dungeons and Dragons, Cards Catan, and I mean, all these games that scream nerd. And I will tell you, Madison pushed the boundaries, and it's been a while since that's happened. So, tonight's video is a bit different. Okay, it's a bit different than Jeffrey's, to be honest with you. But it's one that I am so happy that I got to experience. It really is. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of talking in this one. It's a lot of, you know, letting her talk and what she's going through and what made her decide to go the route that she's going. And we do talk about nerd stuff. We do. Hey, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry I keep yawning. I mean, literally, I've been up since 5:30 this morning. And it's like midnight, almost midnight. So, I hope everybody enjoys. I do. This was an interesting one. It was. Madison, you're an amazing lady, and the fact that you approach life the way that you do is something that not a lot of people can claim. It's not. You and I kind of briefly touched on that before I left your house. So I appreciate everybody's time watching this. I'm not going to do a follow-up. I'm not going to do a follow-up. I thought I would, but I'm not. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this now before I get started. Anybody that's struggling tonight, anybody that feels that they're kind of alone in the world, I hope this video kind of touches you, because this is an individual. It's an individual on this video that has been through the ringer. Okay, and I'm not talking about myself, because I'm not healthy boundaries in place. I'm not ready to share my story yet. But you're meeting someone that, you're meeting someone that whose boundaries get pushed every day. Okay, and you're meeting someone that literally had to pick herself back up from bottom of the barrel and rebuild herself step by step. And I think this video, for those of you that are struggling in whatever walks of life you're in, I think this video can help. Honestly, I think in some way, shape, or form it can help, because this really is, it's a challenging video. It is. It pushes the narrative of what is comfort in the everyday life that we've been taught, versus doing what's right, doing what you feel is right in your heart. And that is something that I think everybody can get on board with. So I love you all. I appreciate you all. I really do. Tomorrow night I'm thinking about doing I was gonna separate this into 2 videos, but I'm not. Like, I'm really not. Like, at one point in time, I mean, I've thought about it, but like, I'm real with y'all. I am real with y'all, and I think I'm just literally going to piece it together from the point where it got so dark outside, we had to start messing with the flashlights. My camera cut off at one point in time because it would not let me turn on the flashlight, and then like she's trying to record on her channel while we're doing this. I was gonna start editing, and I don't think I'm going to. I don't. This is something different. This is something raw and something profound. Okay, something that I think will push the boundaries of what your normal is. Okay, and if we are to ever truly be able to come together and people get along, no matter what walks of life they are, no matter what side of the fence they are, you've got to be able to push those boundaries on occasion, because you're going to know things about these person that makes you not want to partake, and makes you not want to participate with that person. And I don't believe in that. I don't. I was raised Southern Baptist. I was raised, my mother was also a hippie from the 60s. I was raised a lot of different ways, but this is right. This is right. For me, this is right. Like I said, I have no regrets about about pushing that envelope. About the comfort of like, should we talk this much about charities? Should we talk this much about what I've gone through in my personal life? Should we talk about this? Should we talk about that? Like, I like, that boundary needs to be gone. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, like, charities are a good thing. I'm trying to get my own charity. So the fact that, she actually takes the time to explain what she's trying to do with her charity is amazing. It absolutely is amazing. And that's great. And talking about her experiences in life and what led her to where she's at now, her belief system, I mean, the whole 9 yards. If anything you see on this video, if you don't agree with it, that's okay. Like, it is okay. It is okay to disagree with somebody. It is. It doesn't mean it has to end in anger, violence, or whatever. Like, it is okay. And I can tell you, like, tonight was amazing. It truly was. It was amazing. It was eye-opening. And this is twice now. I'm going to say this last thing, then I'm going to get the video started. This is twice now that I've interviewed 2 different people that like trading card games, that got into them for the certain reason that they did. And they ended up being some of the most humble people I've ever met. And I'm just blessed that I started doing this. I am, and I hope that everybody else moving forward is the same way. So, I mean, this is it. I love you all. This is Zachariah with Fire and Ice Games. I'm not going to do a follow-up on this. I'm literally going to take this intro that I'm filming now. I'm going to attach it to the video. Well, actually, I'm going to have to like clip the 2 videos together because like our cameras quit working. I don't know what happened. I'm going to clip them together, and you're just going to see everything for what it is. You know, because that's life. You can't edit life, right? Like, you can't edit life. And a lot of the people that got into trading card games, you couldn't edit what got you in there. So why should you edit things now? I think cancel culture is such a thing now where people don't like it. Well, take it off. And you know what? Like, no, I don't think I will. I don't think I will, because I believe in what I believe in what I filmed tonight. I do, and I believe in moving forward with Fire and Ice Games where anything's possible. That's what I believe. So, again, I appreciate all your, all y'all's time. I think tomorrow night, for Saturday night, I think I'm gonna try to do a Facebook Live video. My little brother's supposed to be coming by tomorrow, and I think it'd be fun because we're gonna be having just a card sorting party. And if that is actually the case, we're gonna get this video going. I'm gonna pull out a bunch of cards. We're gonna be organizing them. I'm gonna get him, and I'm gonna give him hell, or HE double hockey sticks for those of you that don't cuss. Anyway, so without further ado, this is Madison, okay? And I look forward to many more. All right, I love you all. This is Zachariah.
Alrighty. Alright, let me... That's good enough, I guess.
Alright, everyone, this is Zachariah of Fire and Ice Games, sitting down with Miss Madison Pierce. Madison, how are you today?
I am fantastic. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. First and foremost, thank you for reaching out and volunteering to do this.
I'm very happy to do it.
I mean, honestly, like, as you know, Fire and Ice Games, we're trying to get going, trying to get started. So, we're trying to include everybody. And the fact that, and I did a intro video on the way here, talking about it, the fact that you reached out to us with Pokemon, which is absolutely awesome. And I can't wait to show everybody. Spoiler, I already looked ahead. It's pretty awesome. I'm really excited to show it. So, Madison, tell us a little bit about yourself. You are a Cumming native.
So, I've lived in Cumming for the 90% of my life.
Okay.
I consider it home. Currently in Lawrenceville because I can't afford to live in Cumming because it's too darn expensive.
Okay.
So I'm like, will I ever come home? So, I'm a member of the LGBT community, although
Okay.
I'm kind of distancing myself from them right now with the world situation.
Right.
But, I just want to help people.
Okay.
And with that, do you want me to?
You can talk.
So,
Like I said, this is about you. This video is about you. Talk.
all right. So, I'm in the process of starting a charity.
Okay.
It's called the Spread Kindness Project, or hashtag Spread Kindness.
Okay.
We actually just started a podcast. We're going to be doing those on Wednesdays, I believe.
Okay.
It might change.
And how will they find the podcast?
I will give you the link.
Okay, perfect.
It's at my channel,
Okay.
but it's also on Facebook.
Okay.
They can follow me there on, I believe it's Spread Kindness.
Okay.
We can put the link down below.
Yes.
So, basically what we're doing is, around the time that the riots and the protests started, I was like, yeah, I gotta support Black Lives Matter, and like I need to go down and protest. And then I was like, well, I'm working. I don't have the time to do that. And so I just got this voice in my head that was like, hey, so you should start a charity. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? So pretty much the charity is to do random acts of kindness, plus I want to go to like food banks.
Okay.
And help distribute food to the homeless, or I want to help the homeless. I want to help like soup kitchens, like on like Thanksgiving or Christmas. I want to do food drives for the less fortunate. And I want to, be able to go to a restaurant and give like $100 tip and just be like, this is for you. I feel like you needed this.
So just no payback, nothing.
No.
It's I mean, it's just that. It's
Just 100% spreading kindness. And, I also want to help re-educate folks on how to be kind.
I think that's actually an amazing idea. I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten that, sadly. But
Exactly. So with the way that the world is right now, there's just so much hate.
there is.
And
I've said that before, in in my last video. There is so much hate, and one thing I think everybody needs is positivity.
Right.
I mean, so I mean, please keep talking, because what you're talking about is absolutely amazing. It truly is.
So I'm really enjoying, I want to help re-educate folks on how to be kind, because like I said, there's so much hate in this world, and people just forgot. And it's like somewhere between the year 2000 and now, it's all me, and the heck with you.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, how can I fix this? So I want to go into schools.
Okay.
I have a connection. She's also one of the people on my podcast.
Okay.
She has been doing her own charity for a while. She goes into schools already,
Okay.
and because she works with foster children and all that.
Okay.
So I want to be able to go speak to the kids and, teach them how to be kind. And I also want to do it all the way up to adults and be able to do like motivational speaking with learning how to be kind and mixed in together. I know that seems a little weird, but
No, it doesn't actually. It's just I think a lot of people are going to have the same reaction I do. It's a concept that, to me, I mean, it's a concept that it's like right in front of your face. It just hasn't been done yet,
Right.
And so I think, I like I said, I'm not trying to sound shocked. Like I said, it's right there in your face the entire time, but you don't think about it,
Right.
And so I think the fact that you're willing to approach that aspect is just absolutely fascinating. It truly
Right.
is. It's absolutely fascinating.
yeah, I've done a lot of introspective this past year. I went from being depressed and anxious to always having a positive attitude. No matter what happens, my day is always great. You ask me how my day is, it's fantastic. It's never just good or okay or all right. It's always fantastic or wonderful, and I'm always spreading kindness by, if I do go into a store and, they're like, say Walmart, for example, they have the greeters. I always tell them, have a great day or have a wonderful day. And I always tell the people when I go to a drive-thru, have a wonderful day. So I always try to spread positivity and kindness everywhere I go. And I've kind of tapped into the universe to where I can just speak the universe's words
Yeah.
without knowing what I'm saying.
Okay.
So it just flows through me to where I'm capable of just spreading whatever message the universe needs me to send. So I know for a fact I can speak motivationally because I've got the knowledge now,
Right.
and all I need is a stage.
Right.
So, and in doing so, I can show people that through my positivity and through, trying to help them better themselves, that they can be kind at the same time.
And I think, honestly, I mean, especially, I think one thing that this year has shown everyone, it's just how lack of kindness there actually is, and that's, I mean, that's kind of what's sad, and that's kind of, to be honest with you, I mean, that's kind of what spurred me. We were talking before off camera, it's kind of what spurred me to start this, is to bring that around and to hear somebody else, that's actually approaching it and being aggressive in approaching it too, because I think a lot of people want to be kind. I think a lot of people want to do that, but they just try to do it in a very non-aggressive, non-abrasive way, to where it's like you're trying to conform to others, and it's like I think what you're doing is amazing, because it's like, hey, like, this is a problem. Let's approach it now. Let's talk about it now. You
Right.
know, and I think the world needs more of that. Honestly, I do.
Right, and that's kind of what the podcast is all about. We have, me, a member of the LGBT community. We have, a cisgender white male. And then we have you know, a woman of color from Britain.
Right.
So like we have these different perspectives, and and I don't believe we all vote the same way or anything along those lines either. So like it's just great to show all these different these people come together,
Yes.
who are so different in their backgrounds. So, and we talk about spreading kindness. We talk about different ways to do that. We talk about, you know, whatever subjects come up, and it just works. And I'm really excited to start doing that more, you know, very soon.
Okay. I mean, that's absolutely fantastic. And please make sure you send me like your YouTube and everything else, because that will be at the bottom of my video. So, like I said, we know a little bit about you now. We're actually, once you get your charity going, I definitely think that once it like fully gets out there, I mean, honestly, I'd love to anything we can do to help. Honestly, anything we can do to help to help you further your cause, because you know, like I said, the world needs it. The world needs positivity, you know, and whether it's people doing what I'm doing, where I'm trying to bring people together, you know, for just social reasons, you know, but you're talking about kind of taking it a step further, and you know, like, hey, let's reach out to the young minds, which is fantastic, because I mean, they are our future, you know, and if we can teach them to be positive and teach them to be kind, which you're wanting to do, I think, like I said, that just makes the future a little bit more brighter, you know. So that is awesome.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, back in November, this was a part I left out when we were speaking earlier. Basically, I just broke down and I told the universe, I used a lot of language that I'm not using in this, but I was like, dude, I'm done. I'm done trying. I can't do this on my own anymore. I need you.
Yeah.
I was like, I am ready to do your service. And these are the things that the universe has been telling me to do. So, you know, I've been sharing, ever since that happened, I started with positivity on my Facebook all the time. It was just positivity. It did change a little bit recently when the political climate got a little bit deeper, I guess. But it's still positive. I'm not cussing anyone out. I'm not belittling anybody. It's just still positive.
Right.
And I'm just doing literally whatever I'm told to do from the universe. And that's where this all came from. I never thought about doing a charity ever. I never thought about doing a podcast talking about anything. I never thought about being political. It was just, it all came to me. It was just like, all right, here you go. This is the job I want you to do.
And the fact that you're comfortable with it too. I mean, like I said, we talked for well over an hour before we started this video.
Right.
You know, I mean, you come off just very, very calm, very comfort and certain in what you're doing. And I think that in itself is absolutely fantastic. I mean, there's no nervous bumps where it's like, am I doing the right thing? You seem very certain about getting this going.
Yeah. So. You know, we have t-shirts we're selling too.
Okay.
Right now it's on Teespring, but we just redesigned them.
Okay.
So once I actually get a link for those, or even, you know, you guys can come to my channel and order them. Like, you can come to, well, I guess come to my Parler account. I'll have him down below, because,
yes,
you know, who knows what's going on with the world. But you can order them through me and I can ship them out.
Okay.
And then we also have a GoFundMe, which I'll give you that link as
Please
well.
do. Okay.
We're trying to raise money. It's about $1,200 to $1,300 to get our 501c3.
Okay.
That's legal fees. That's everything.
Hey, side note, everybody. I know y'all hear like cars and a bunch of noise. Madison and I decided to actually film this outside because I think we both just kind of need some fresh air after a very long Friday. So just excuse a little bit of the background noise. So anyway, please continue.
I do apologize about that as well, folks on my channel. You know, it feels so much better outside.
Yeah.
And especially with it cooling down, and I'm just like, I'd much rather, plus my landlord keeps the heat on like so high already.
Yeah.
It's like 80 degrees in there. It's ridiculous. So,
but yeah, send me the links to all this, because like I said, I mean, now Okay, so basically the sales from the T-shirts and the GoFundMe, all of this is to help get your charity actually started and off the ground.
It's to become legal. Yes.
Okay, awesome.
So that way we can get donations and you can get tax write-offs and
Okay.
we can apply for grants, and that way we actually have the money to go do these things.
That's okay.
Because right now I'm not working.
Okay.
I've been just doing what the universe tells me to do, and that's not working. I was working and my car broke down every month for 3 months, and I was like, all right, that's a sign. I don't need to be doing this.
Yeah.
And I am working from home, but it's very, very slow right now.
Okay.
So I've just been doing what the universe tells me to do.
Okay.
So I don't have the money to go out and do this. But when I was working 2 jobs, I was tipping, like especially at the very beginning of the pandemic. Pretty much I was tipping as well as I could. I went to the Waffle House over here when it reopened. I gave them $20 tip on a $10 meal.
Yeah.
And I was tipping I supposedly had it at the beginning of April. I went to the hospital, they tested me. I never got the nose test, but they did all these other tests and they're like, you're fine. But, well, no, they were like, you have it, but they were like, we can't confirm it because we're not admitting you to the hospital or whatever. So I was home for 2 weeks and I was fine, but I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. So I had DoorDash and whatever come, and I tipped them at least $10 to $20. My friend and I, we went to Red Robin after that reopened at the mall, and it was when the mall reopened, so it was only a couple of months ago.
Okay.
And the universe was like, hey, you've got $60 in your wallet, give this waitress $40. And I did. And I've been doing it, I just don't have the funds right now.
Yeah.
So right now I'm not worried about receiving money to go do these things. I just want to get legal so that way I can do it the right way.
Okay.
And that's why I'm raising money.
Okay. That's absolutely awesome. Well, like I said, make sure you send me all those links. I'm definitely going to be sharing all of those on the bottom of this video.
Okay.
So next thing we're going to get into is we're going to talk a little bit about your inner nerd.
All right.
Okay. So, I mean, like I said, a lot of people, I know myself especially, I got into playing cards. It's just kind of an escape, but like I said, there's so many different avenues why people start getting into these trading card games. And like I said, the fact that you've got some old school awesome Pokemon cards that, like, she and I were, just kind of pulling some of these cards out, and like even the common cards she has, these go so far back. I mean, she's got some of these common cards that are sitting at, 60, 70, $80 for a card that's not even holographic. And then we have other cards that are sitting at $300. And it really was. I kept pulling them out, and thank you, ma'am, for just being patient with me. Because I'm like, can I pull these out? Can I pull these out? And, the fact that you love it. So that's pretty awesome. But tell us a little bit about them.
So pretty much after I moved here, I didn't have any friends.
Okay.
We were really close to our neighbors, and they had small little boys. They were like, I want to say like 8, 7, maybe it was the oldest one.
Okay.
And they were over all the time, and he was into Pokemon, and we were kind of into Pokemon in school. And so like we would trade the cards. I never played it. I don't know how to play Pokemon. I own all these cards and have no clue. But I always, it was one of the only escapes I had, because it was kind of like a dictatorship, and I had no ability to do anything except for collect cards.
Right.
So, they took away my video games. It was just bad, because I've always been a gamer since
Right.
I was like 4.
Okay.
So I started on the NES.
Okay.
So, this was just an escape, and then I pretty much just put them in a book. And I was like, these are going to be worth something someday.
Right.
And I left them there. And they were in storage for years. And I got rid of my storage unit, and I pulled it out, and I'm like, all right, I got some pretty good looking stuff in here.
Right.
And I started to eBay them a little bit, and I was like, okay, so I have some good stuff in here. And so I'm glad that I did collect them, but it was a great pastime for me. And like I would watch the cartoon when I was allowed to watch TV, and I liked it.
Yeah.
I never owned a Nintendo after the NES. So, like, I never really got to play, like, Pokemon Snap or anything like that.
Right.
So, but back in, I think it was 2002, I want to say, I was working at Ingles,
Okay.
and there was a bunch of nerds that worked there, and they got me into Yu-Gi-Oh!
Love Yu-Gi-Oh.
And you're gonna be really sad. So I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! I had a whole bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards,
Okay.
and we would actually play, and we would sit in the Ingles, like the little dining area,
Right.
and we would just play at night from like it was like from like 9 o'clock to like midnight or whatever.
Right.
And we would just play, and I had a whole bunch. And one of the guys, he was like, you know, I was in the Army or whatever it was, Navy, I think. And he was like, bring your cards with you so that way you can, you know, play after basic training.
Right.
They threw my cards away.
What?
So I don't have any left. They
that is
threw
awful.
every single one away. And I would have a collection like this of them,
Yeah.
of rare 20 years ago cards,
Yeah.
if that didn't happen.
That's the sad part, though, because I mean, my story's a little bit different, but like, I gave all my cards away. I went through a phase where I was like, I'm not gonna play any card games anymore, and I just gave them away. And now I watch all these channels, and they're pulling these cards, and it's like, I had that card, and they're like, yeah, this card's going for $5,000, and I'm like, oh. So when I sobbed myself to sleep that night, you know, it just
Right.
it does, but I mean, yeah, you lost to Yu-Gi-Oh, but I mean, you kept some really awesome, like, old school Pokemon, and the fact that they're in such good condition. That's I think that's what's kind of tripping me up, because I mean, you kept these cards in these sleeves. I mean, there's a little bit of wear and tear on some of them, but I mean, these things could easily pass for a 9, possibly even a 10 mint if you were to send them out to be graded. And
Right.
I mean, and the fact of how old they are and their prices range. I mean, you got some websites are selling them for $5, and then you got other websites that are selling for $4.99, and it's selling like as of 4 days ago, it's sold.
Right.
You know, and you have these cards just kind of sitting in here. I just think that's absolutely amazing. Was there a reason why you kept them, or was it just because it was like, this is my childhood, and like I want to keep this part because it's a good memory?
Yes and no. You know, it was a great part of my childhood, but, you know, now at the same time, it's like I'm trying to live a more minimalist life.
Okay.
So now I'm like, I don't need to keep all this stuff.
Okay.
So I'm at that point where I'm willing to sell the whole collection. Of course, I need to get it graded first. I just need to, I don't know. I kept them in the sleeves because I knew they'd be worth something.
Right.
Heck, I even kept all my Beanie Babies because I figured they'd be
Yeah.
worth something someday. I'm pretty sure I had the Princess Diana bear that's worth like $20,000.
Yeah.
And my aunt threw them all away. And I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Do you not understand?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you know, it's I don't know. I don't think a lot of people do understand, though. You know, and in a lot of these things, and you know, we've mentioned it. There are people that collect things to play. They collect and play, and then they have some people that just collect. And you know, so like the cards you have them, you collected them. You never played Pokemon, but you collected them, and
right.
like now they're just climbing, you know, up and up and up in value, because the more series they release, the older these cards get.
Right.
You know, so that is just absolutely amazing. So have you thought about like maybe getting back into any trading card games?
Honestly, since talking to you, yes. Like with what you're trying to do, it I don't really have a community. Like, I don't really have very many close people in my circle. So I would actually really like to get back into it. Not with these. These are gonna stay in their sleeve.
Of course.
But I don't know any Pokemon after the first series.
Oh, don't try to memorize them. You'll get a headache. they're starting to sound like medication at this point.
I'm
I mean,
sure.
it really is crazy. But I mean, I don't know. Like I know I kind of sound kind of shocked. It's just you know, I mean, Madison, you can vouch for this. I mean, I kept pulling. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen this card in forever, and we were looking them up online, and you take really good care of your stuff too, which is I think just absolutely amazing, because you know Fire Nice Games, you know, trying to show people this doesn't have to be just something you play. You know, if you're looking for something to just invest in, that's
Right.
just long term, like I'll collect it over time, you know, and like what you did, you put it in a box. You put it in a box, and you know, you got commons, you got some hollows in here, but you probably got a couple $1,000s, if not more, just because of how old they are and the fact
Right.
of what condition they're in. And you know, I've tried telling people some of this is like an actual investment. You know, it's an actual financial investment. It's something that you'd even pass on, sell, things like that. And honestly, I've seen a lot of people's collections, and especially from when they were kids and they pull them out and it's, you know, like leather at that point. You just kind of shake it around. But
Right.
I mean, seriously, you've done such an amazing job even keeping up with them.
Thank you.
I mean, honestly. So, I mean, if you were to get back into trading card games, though, what trading card game would you start with? Ooh, pop quiz.
Depends on what's more popular, I guess.
Okay.
I know Magic's very popular. I did learn how to play that about 5 years ago. I don't really remember.
Okay.
I do apologize. It's getting dark.
It is. We're going to try to
Um,
fix that. Can I?
I don't know. You might be able to put your flash on.
Yeah, we're trying here.
Stand by, y'all. I'm not gonna edit this. It's all good, but like
It will not let me turn the flashlight on.
it should when you're facing that way.
It will not. That's it.
So I think Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh.
Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh? Can you tell me why?
I know how to play them. Like I would actually be able to recall a little bit after,
Okay.
like if someone showed me again, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember doing this, I remember that. But Pokemon is more of a special place in my heart. To just I like the characters, and like I'm gonna say one dirty word, but it works. I think they, with as many as they've made, they bastardized it
Yeah.
really bad, and I don't want to like. They're my childhood.
Yeah.
The first, however many, couple hundred. After that, I don't know them, and I don't want to like ruin that. I feel.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense, though. I mean, honestly, it does, because, I mean, there are certain things, I mean, there, again, I mean, I guess I can kind of agree with you there, because, like, I grew up, you know, collecting and playing Pokemon, and then I grew up definitely collecting and playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And, you know, I just got to the point, there's so many sets out now where, you know, my brother, I've mentioned him before, he's one of the founders of Fire and Ice Games. Like, he actually followed through with everything. He learned all the different, you know, all the different cards coming out and the different types coming out. And so when I started getting back into it, I'm like, okay, well, gotta brush up on the skills and get a headache after after a while. So
Right.
so Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh? Which one do you think you'd lean more towards?
Probably Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Although I feel like Magic's more popular.
Magic's your OG card game. I mean,
Right.
Magic's been around forever, and like I said, and you know, even on my videos, I mean, I've got most of the people that are interacting are the Magic players. You know, I did another collections video with a gentleman named Jeffrey, and I mean, just one of the most humble people I've ever, individuals I've ever met. I mean, honestly, and the fact that Magic touched him the way that it did,
Right.
you know, and it's kind of the same with you.
I apologize about the dogs.
Yeah, but the fact that Magic touched him the way they did, and so for you, like I said, I think yours is definitely more Pokemon, which I think is just absolutely awesome.
Right.
I really do. Do you know anybody else that collects Pokemon cards?
No.
No.
I don't know anyone else that does cards at all.
See, that I think that's sad. I think that's a stereotype that we're definitely. Man, we got some loud puppies in this one.
Sorry.
But we got. I mean, seriously though, I think that's one of the things we were talking before. We want to break that stigma, you know, because
Right.
I bet you know someone. I bet you know someone that probably has a ton of cards at home that don't talk about it. And like I said, I think there's a terrible stigma with that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, my circle's really small.
Okay.
I've got maybe 4 or 5 people, and I know one guy that plays the video games. I don't know if he actually had like any of the cards, but most of them don't.
Okay.
So most of them were never the nerds. They're like we're all diverse,
Yeah.
but we weren't. I was one of the only like nerdy / geeky people.
Right.
And now like I've found more gamers in my life, but you know, as I've gotten older, we don't really game anymore.
Right.
So I was always more into the gamer culture than I was the nerd culture,
Okay.
but I've always been, you know, kind of intertwined.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't even watch Star Wars until like 6 or 7 years ago.
Oh my gosh, you just broke my heart. We were getting along so well. Why did you say such hurtful things?
Hey, at least
Why?
at least I liked it.
I mean, that's valid, but there's such hurtful
But
things.
then again, I've only watched the original trilogies. I haven't watched anything past 6.
Okay. Well,
I kind of refuse.
well,
so.
I think that might be safe because we were talking about how just we're talking about just how mean this year has been just with everybody, and you start talking about the old and the new Star Wars. You're about to start a scrap somewhere, if you will.
To me, it's the first 6. After that, it's just not Star Wars.
No,
I don't. I mean, I haven't watched them, but like, I don't. Again, it's like Pokemon. I don't want to bastardize the originals.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, you got to think for the classics. I mean, some
Right.
some people are, some people do. It's just they just appreciate when like what it was meant to be. Instead of other people get a hold of the vision and they start changing it and
Right.
I just think that's absolutely amazing. So, Madison, I don't know if you know this, but we are actually going to be doing some like tutorial videos and everything on our channel.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, would you maybe be interested in possibly when we're doing the Magic or we're doing the Yu-Gi-Oh? Would you be interested in coming and actually like learning face to face?
I'd honestly be willing to be in as many videos as you'd like me to be in.
Okay, that's awesome. I mean, we're trying to, like I said, we're trying to get people out of these shells, and I mean, you've already done such a great job at reaching out to me. Y'all have to understand, I didn't reach out to Madison. I mean, like I said, she saw my video and she's like, hey, you wanna, I'm gonna send you a private message, and she did, and now here we are, and she's like, I got some cards that might have some value, and we were supposed to meet tomorrow on Saturday, but I was like, hey, like, how about Friday after I get off work? And like I said, now, like I said, if you're willing to be in more videos, I'll be more than happy to have you. I mean, because that's what we're trying to do, and
Right.
we want to get everybody. The whole point of Fire and Ice Games is to get everybody together, and especially with your charity, and what you do. You're an amazing person. You truly
you.
are. You really are just an amazing person. Such a kind heart, which
I appreciate that.
I mean, I don't know. I think, I say this a lot. Some of the most kind-hearted people, are people that kind of come from your background, Jeffrey's background, my background, where we got into card games for a reason. You know what I mean? We got into
Right.
card games for a reason, and a lot of it was to escape. A lot of it, and it's a good thing and a bad thing, 'cause bad things, we had to escape something.
Right.
But it's also a good thing because it got us into something that touched us to a point that it stayed with us. I mean, Pokemon touched you. You were going through a very hard time in your life. We're not going to dive into that. That's her story. But, the fact that Pokemon was your out, and I think a lot of people can bond over that. And
Right.
again, most people that I meet that play these games just truly are just caring, kind people, and that's just showing in what you're doing with your charity and inviting me over, being so open, which is just absolutely amazing. So,
I'm just honest.
well,
I share all of myself because I feel like an honest, open person is, a happier person. I don't want to, be over here and be like, oh, well, I'm not going to share anything.
right.
Then I'm always going to be in my shell. I want to try to encourage people to be more honest and open and sharing their stories. I love that too. Like even on our podcast, we're going to have guests. You're
Yeah.
welcome to join us. If
I'll
you want.
join you anytime. You let me know and I'll be there. Honestly, it's the least I can do because I've literally been fussing since I started this whole thing. I'm like, I gotta get the Pokemon community involved. Unfortunately, the Pokemon community, the adults, I've had kids, I've had parents reach out. My kid will do a video with you, and we'll get there. But my whole thing is, like I am going to eventually have kids on the channel, but I want to I want adults, you know, that are like, you know, that are my age. This is going back to like when it came out. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I was wanting to dive into. And I have been fussing and fussing and fussing. I'm like, I need somebody to come out, and you just showed up right at the right time, because you know, I've got another collections video I'll be doing later with somebody else, but again, it's another Magic player.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, I guess I'll do 2 back to back. That's okay, you know. And then I was like, man, I would love to get some Pokemon though. I would love to get some Pokemon. And then you reach out. Not only do you reach out, but you reach out with these old school cards that I remember like rushing to the store as a kid to buy.
Right.
You know what I mean? To buy. And then, you know, like I said, I've been holding them up and they've been flimsy, but then I get in yours and it's like, oh, look at this. It's possibly a PSA 9. I'm like, it kind of blows you away.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't gonna reach out. I was like, I'm not gonna say anything, you know.
Why? Like, but see, then though, that's my whole thing. Like, what is it? Like, what made you kind of question, like, should I reach out or should I not?
I don't know. I mean, it was knowing your wife a long time ago,
right?
And then like I was like, I don't know how that's gonna be. I don't know how she's gonna remember me.
Right.
Like I was like, you know, as you said, it was positive, but like I it's 20 years ago. I don't remember like the impressions I gave people.
Right.
Plus, with we've all aged, and so it was like,
easy, Madison.
I mean,
I'm only in my 30s. Easy. I'm only in my 30s. 30 is the new 20.
I mean, I look 25, so
jealous. Jealous.
But I didn't want it to be weird.
No.
So it's not, obviously.
Right.
But I didn't want it to be weird. So I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. And then you posted again, and I was like, all right. Then you posted again, and I'm like, I'm seeing this for a reason. The universe is telling me to contact him.
Yeah.
So that's when I did. Usually I wait for like the third time to jump on things. So that's why I waited. I do apologize for waiting, but it was obviously the perfect time.
Like honestly, but
so,
and I mean it was the perfect time. Because like I said, I mean anybody that has had to listen to me over the past week, I mean, even when I've been talking about like buying cards and like getting people to donate cards to me, it's been like, I have Yu-Gi-Oh, I have Magic. Where's Pokemon? Like, where is Pokemon? And you know, I hold Pokemon at a special place. You know, I remember having the red and the blue games and just, you know, buying cards and running to school and showing your friends and trying to see who had the better cards and things like that. And I literally have been fussing just because I'm like, nobody is showing up on Pokemon. I need some help here. And then you reach out and you're like, I've got some old Pokemon cards. And I mean, if I wasn't as 30, as Madison might point out.
Well, hey, I'm 34. Turned 35 in like 26 days. So.
But you know, the fact, like I said, the fact that you reach out and it really was the perfect time, because I was losing my mind. I mean, seriously, I was losing my mind, because I mean, like I said, the whole point of this is to get everybody of anything, you know, and eventually we'll be you know, broadening into like Dungeons and Dragons, you know, Cards of Catan. We're gonna be diving into all these, and and like I said, we talked about, you know, about just kind of the stereotypes, and I think there are a lot of people that are afraid of the stereotype of, I don't know if this is what I should do, and you know, we don't want that. We want to break that. We want to break that wall where people are like, you know what, like, look at what I got. I spent time and effort into this, and the fact that you spent time and effort into these cards, and not only that, but then you were probably not like a lot of people our age that kept them in good condition. So
I was brought up that you take care of the things you have. Right. So I know this isn't trading card related, but I've got boxes of like 1980 something, early 90 something football cards and baseball cards that are still in their box.
But it's, again though,
I take care of my things,
and it pays off though.
Right.
And that's what, you know, that's what I'm trying to show people, because everybody wants to dive on board and start collecting the most expensive things, and I don't know, for me, and maybe I'm just different. I mean, maybe you're different, but to me, I've always found like the smaller, simpler things, like even emotionally and financially, end up holding just the most value, like over time, because they last, you know.
Right.
And it really is just kind of amazing of the effect that it has.
I agree.
I mean, seriously, Madison, you really are just an amazing human being. You truly are. You're an amazing human being, and you know, everyone. I know it's getting dark out here. But no regrets. I've actually enjoyed this doing this talk outside.
I'm loving this. Like,
I mean,
it feels great.
So
you know, I'm feeling the energy from the universe, from nature. I love it. I'm glad we did this.
yeah. Oh, so am I. Trust me, because you know, last interview I did, I was in the house, and I just like, I'm pouring sweat, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, it's so hot in here, and I didn't want to stop the video and be like, we're bumping the AC down to 60, you know. So
Yeah.
when you were like, let's do it outside, oh my gosh, she's an angel. She's an angel. So,
Yeah, honestly, like I said, my landlord keeps the house so darn hot that we would have been uncomfortable.
yeah.
It's such a cluttered mess. They're
Yeah.
hoarders with like the dumbest stuff. Like, he's got some fans lying around that he's never gonna use, and I'm like, what? So, you know, it's like, I don't understand why people collect these things when you should be collecting trading cards.
Yeah.
You know, like, but they're like, there's just nowhere to film in there.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
and
think this worked out. Honestly,
This
I think
is
this
fantastic.
I think this worked out.
I kind of wish I brought my ring light out, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, yeah, your video is gonna be a little bit dark. My
we're
videos,
good.
my video might be a little bit dark too. But
I mean,
honestly, like I said though, people kind of fuss at me. I've gotten surprised, but people fuss at me because I don't edit my videos a lot. I don't. I'm one of those, like, let's just be real, let's just be honest, and because I want people to know me for me, and
Right.
anybody, and if you remember, I told you, like, this video is about you, and it's about who you are as a person. You know, like I said, now me and people that are watching, you know, not just your channel, but people that are watching mine, you know, like I said, we're hopefully get people involved in your charity, and maybe they can take some, you know, hopefully people that are taking positive things away from this, because
right, I hope so too.
you know, I kind of feel like you and I are on the same path as far as like trying to get more positivity in the world, because that's what people need.
Right, I agree.
You know, and I promise you now, like, you know, Fire and Ice Games, anything we can do to help, I mean, let us know.
Thank
I mean,
you.
like I said, if you want us to come out there and, you know, film something with you, we'll be more than happy to. You know, anything we can do.
Yeah, I'd love that.
You
Thank
know, because we want to bring people together. We need to, honestly.
Right.
You know, without getting, you know, too deep into without getting too deep into politics or what. And I've said it before, no matter what your stance is on whichever side of the fence you are about whatever topic, at the end of the day, we're all people, and we all have to be able to get along and love one another. You have to. I mean, otherwise
Right.
we're not going to make it as a species, and that's so sad to say. You know, it's so sad to say, but that's the way it is. And so then you have people like you that are like, hey, let's go to the root of the problem. Let's not just talk about it. Let's go to the root of the problem. Because it does start with how we raise our children.
Right.
You know, me as a father. And so when you said that like hit close to home, because I'm like, I mean, me as a father, yeah, I can teach my kids all day, you know, how to do one thing, but just because I'm teaching my kids that way, it doesn't mean other parents are.
Right.
And, you know, we try to raise our children, you know, be kind, be respectful, you know, only get violent if you have to be, you know, and that's out of defense. Like, that's
Right.
how we try to do. You're talking about hitting the problem. You're talking about getting these kids when they're young, and even all the way up to, you know, people being like adults, you know, like, hey,
Right.
like, let's identify, let's talk about it, let's bullet point it, you know?
Right. Actually, I want to. The end goal here is I want to eventually be able to. Well, this was before I knew the direction the world was moving in, but I wanted to build like a hotel type building or apartment type building to be able to house homeless people, but I want to cater to the ones who want to get better.
Right.
Like there'd be like a strict no drug policy.
Right.
You know.
It's about building yourself back up.
Right, to help people build themselves back up.
Because you and I kind of talked off camera, you know, and you kind of, you know, and again, I don't want to dive into your personal story too much, especially on my channel. You know, and like I said, if you went on your channel, we will definitely, you know, after I cut. just be out of respect for you.
Oh, thank you.
Out of respect for you. But I mean, you were at a very, from us talking off camera, you were in a very, very bad place. I mean, just mentally, emotionally, even physically, it's just like you were worn down. And the fact that you didn't allow yourself to stay there and you picked yourself back up. And I think a lot of people need that, because, I've said before, my goal is to help anybody. And I think everybody's goal should be that, because some people just can't do it on their own. And the fact that you did do it on your own just shows amazing strength. And now trying to pay that part forward, that would be amazing, because you don't want people to stay in the current environment to where
Right.
they're complacent with it. Like, yeah, my life is here, it is what it is, but it could be worse.
Right.
You're talking about taking it yet again a step further, like, okay, we're going to bring you in, maybe offer them therapy, self-help, anything like that, help build them back up,
Right.
kind of like what you went through. But you went on your own personal journey, though. You truly did. It was a very much kind of like an individual story, a very individual journey, because you were talking about, you bought the books and you dived into yourself, which is not something a lot of people can do.
Right.
Honestly.
So, other than helping the homeless, I also want to create some sort of charity for the elderly. Well, I want to help the elderly.
Okay.
So, I took care of my grandmother until her dying breath. I was there literally with her as she died. So, I love old people so much. Like, the stories they tell and just how happy they are about so many different things that are
Right.
like the small stuff. And, they're not talking about the latest gadget or the,
Right.
the latest video game or the latest movie, or, they're talking about real world stuff that they experienced. And I love that.
Yeah.
But they're all so darn lonely.
Yeah.
Like, nobody. When I lived with my grandma, no one came to visit. If I wasn't there, she would have been by herself all the time. My aunt would come by, but my sisters never did. The same thing's happening with my other grandmother. This one is not biological, but she's always been there.
Right.
And they don't go to her anymore either. And it's just like, guys, go visit. She's old. We don't know how much longer she has.
Right.
And she's lonely and sad all the time. And, there's been times when she's told me she's ready to end it. And I'm like, you gotta stay and hold on.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I know it seems like it sucks right now. It does get better.
Yeah.
Even when you're older.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to create a program to make it so they're not lonely anymore. I don't want to give too many ideas away.
Yeah.
But I want to create something for them as well. So that all factors into the spread kindness, but those are more down the road.
Okay.
So, I also, my coup de grace, I don't like city life at all. I'm a country girl at heart.
Right.
I grew up in Cumming when there was nothing.
Correct. It used to be
We-
so sparse, and now it is just.
We had-
it is boomed.
We had 2 gas stations and a barbecue joint that was the best.
Yeah.
That's all we had where I lived.
You're right.
And now we have a Walmart like 5 minutes from the house, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I didn't mind driving the 15 minutes to the other one,
Yeah.
or the other one. So I love the quiet in the country, and I don't like the hustle and bustle.
Right.
So I want to build kind of like a neighborhood for my friends and I to live in, like my family,
Right.
to come, and like I'll have my house and another one would have their house, have kind of like a community center in the middle, with a pool and whatnot, but with like an arcade and like a conference room for work, and like a movie theater and all these things.
Yeah.
We can gather together, and like we'd have, I would hire like a professional chef to cook for us, and we'd always gather together.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like a commune, but not really.
Right.
But I also want I want to have a lot of land. So I want to also have a farm, so we can grow our own food.
Right.
I'm trying I'm leaning closer towards being vegan,
Yeah.
because I feel really bad for these animals and
Yeah.
the way they're treated. So I've always been like, I'm just gonna eat meat because it's delicious. But it's also, every time I go out and I eat meat now, I get extremely sick.
Right.
So I want to be able to grow this food, not only for us, but also to donate and give to others, and I'm able to give people jobs working on the farm because I'm not doing it.
Right.
I don't like to get my hands dirty.
Right.
But I'm more of a computer savvy person. I don't really know. I wouldn't know the ins and outs of it, so I would pretty much hire it out, lease the land out, and we would get our food and we would supply other people with food,
Right.
and whatever is left over we can sell. And then I want to have like a lake as well on my property that I build like another like hotel type structure,
Right.
and I can have like retreats where I can spread kindness, teach the spread kindness there as well,
Okay.
and have like activities for people from kids, so I can have kids camps, and I can also have adult camps,
Right.
with like alcohol and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to cater to everyone. Of course, like my house would be here and that'd be like way over here.
Right.
So like it's not bothering me.
Okay.
But like I want that's my coup de grace. I want to be able to just help people all the time, but also be secluded.
Right.
And if I'm exhausted and I don't want to be around people anymore,
Yeah.
I just retreat away.
Yeah. I mean, I bet some people need that. I know I do. I mean,
I always do.
I do. I have my days where I go straight hermit. I go straight hermit where I don't leave the house. It's I don't, because it's sometimes depending on the kind of person you are. A lot of people are surprisingly they would be secluded if they had the opportunity. They would, because
Right.
there are just sometimes the noise is too much. And like I said, for me anyway, like I get very overwhelmed being around all the, as you call it, the hustle and bustle. It gets very overwhelming, and it kind of overloads quite a bit. And so yeah, having a place of seclusion, especially for other people that are kind of like you, where it's just kind of a quiet, peaceful area, that sounds absolutely amazing. However,
Yeah.
I will tell you, I'm not coming if you do not do card games. I will not show up. I just want you to know, I will not show up. You'll have to hang a poster of me, and I'll send you postcards saying, yeah, you wish I was there, but you said no to trading card games. So just know,
I
will show up, but you got to have cards. You got to have cards.
We can definitely do cards. It's gonna be it's gonna be different activities for everybody. I want to be inclusive to everyone because we are all literally one human race.
Yeah.
Color doesn't matter. Religion doesn't matter.
None of it matters.
None of it
matters because we are
Right.
all people.
Right.
And I think the fact that you're trying to bring the inclusion in that, I think that's something that literally, everybody could learn with.
Right.
Well, I know we're still filming on your channel, but on my channel, I am dying to show people these cards.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
I'm dying because, like I said, these are, it's nostalgia. It's nostalgia in a book, and that to me, you feel like a little kid again. I was looking through your cards. I'm like, I remember having that card when I was a kid. And it's the nostalgia for me, and I think that's kind of where you and I click on the Pokemon front, because, yeah, I played it for a little bit, but I definitely collected a lot more than I played, and I don't know, you just to find some in such good condition and be able to actually hold them again. And when I was going through your book, and I took a couple of them out of the sleeves. I remember like at certain times I got these packs, and I'm like, first time I got these cards, I'm like, what does this one do? And
Right.
so like I said, if it's okay with you, I want to dive in.
I'm excited.
Take a
Let's
look.
do it.
Awesome.
We're
Awesome,
gonna stay on my channel too, so that way, if you want to, you can have like the outer view.
Yeah, no. All right, everyone, and here we are. Now, this is a little bit of her collection we're going to go through. Like I said, we've got cards tucked in behind. We've got, she's got cards tucked away other places. So we're just going to go through the pages on what's showing on front here. I mean, some of these cards are just, you know, old school. I mean, this Zubat here goes all the way back to the fossil. I mean, look at that Charmander. Absolutely beautiful here. I mean, we've got Golbat. Look at that Pikachu. Jungle, first edition. That is absolutely amazing. So, Madison, did you have a favorite Pokemon as a kid?
As a kid, I think it was Pikachu,
Okay, and now?
and now it's Eevee.
Eevee?
Yeah.
Just because, is it because of the Evolutions, or?
I like the Evolutions, but I also think she's cute.
Yeah.
So,
I was always, now, anybody that's watched my, all of y'all should know by now, Gengar has been and will always be my absolute favorite Pokemon. Followed closely by Alakazam. I always enjoyed them, but Gengar is definitely my favorite here. I mean, y'all just take a look at these cards. I mean, you can just kind of go back to, like I said, to just remembering getting these cards for the first time, you know, and it just kind of brings back a lot of fond memories, you know, especially of like my mother who passed away last year. You know, she used to take us as kids to go buy these packs, and you know, my brother and I, we took a lot of pride in them. It was just, you know, because, you know, I told everyone a couple, probably last week, you know, the cards weren't even in the best condition that I was showing y'all, but it was just the memory of it, because sometimes, you know, memories are priceless, and sometimes that's all you have. I mean, guys, this Misty's Tears, I mean, that card is, honestly, it's absolutely beautiful card. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, like I said, she's got some cards. We're getting to. She tried being a little sneaky on me, because I was like, "You got any hollows in the book?" And she's like, "Oh, I got some." And I kept scrolling. I'm like, I think she might have told a fib, but no, she's making us wait. All of them are actually in the back.
you're welcome to pull some out if you'd like.
I'm actually not going to, because it's dark, and B, once I started seeing a lot of the value you have on here, and the fact that you're planning on sending them out to be graded, I don't want to take the risk, especially in the dark, of handling your cards. So out of respect for, because guys, you have to understand, most of these cards are almost like about as close as I've seen in a long time to mint. I mean, it's like she just took them out of a pack, and it's absolutely amazing. I mean, look at this Ninetales. Okay, I know there's like a little bit of a glare, but look at this Ninetales. I mean, there's no scratches, there's nothing. No, I appreciate the offer, and I'm sure everybody watching this video would love to, but also everybody on this video would probably understand that, you know, what you have here. I mean, look at these cards. Look at that Magneton. I mean, we've got the Flareon. You know, Vulpix, got a Clefable. I mean, you have just beautiful, and like I said, she has a lot more cards, but you know, when we started diving in and started looking at these cards, and I started like, okay, well, let's leave this one in the package, and like, you know, started pulling up the Mewtwo. Even some of the commons you have, just they carry so much value. And you know, Madison was inquiring about you know, how to send them out and get graded. You know, I mean, she's probably going to send them out to either Beckett or PSA. And when you do that, like I said, in order for them to retain their value, you want to handle them as little as possible. So right. I will tell you though, this is just, I know I said it before, but this is nostalgia in a book. And I thank you so much for allowing me to come over and do this video.
Of
I mean,
course.
just being able to, I don't know, just being able to look at everything. I know I'm going back through it again, everyone. And for those of you that are may get a little upset the fact that I'm not taking all the cards out, you know, try to have some respect, because again, Madison is one of those, she didn't buy these cards to play. I mean, she bought these cards to collect, and they hold sentimental value, they hold emotional value. And so one thing you don't want to do is, you know, and now, you know, they hold financial value now too. So if you are sending them out, like I said, you don't want to handle them a lot. You don't. And for collectors out there, I'm sure y'all can understand that. But I mean, again, I can't. I can't get over it. I mean, I'm so used to seeing, especially now, I'm so used to seeing just all the new artwork for all these Pokemon. So to be able to go back to how the Pokemon used to look, I mean, look at that Squirtle. I mean, you just don't see them anymore. And if you do, they're not in this good of a shape. So, I mean, it really is just awesome. So, well, Madison, I appreciate your time. I really do. And like I said, everyone, like I said, that's just a small little dive into her cards. So, it's getting a little late. We're gonna start wrapping up here. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Madison, you've been absolutely just amazing.
Thank you.
Honestly, just absolutely amazing, and I appreciate the time, you know, and allowing us. And you know, I know we didn't have the best lighting or anything, but I feel like just kind of being spontaneous and just filming, you know, wherever we wanted to is a good choice. So
I agree.
anyway, all right, everyone. Well, this is Zachariah with Fire and Ice Games, and I will talk to y'all later. Thank you.